Ready for the video?
Yes.
Let's get it.
I got more like loosen up
I can
towards
tell,
the
yeah.
end. Yeah.
And I know you're getting bit, so...
Yeah, it's okay.
Present practice. What is vibing? This is Vish and
Ashley.
And today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on...
Is nature teaching us a lesson?
Today I'm here with Ashley. Want to introduce yourself?
My name is Ashley. I'm from Laredo, Texas. I moved to Austin 2 years ago and I model and dance.
And she's actually coming with a YouTube channel, so don't forget to check out all of her social medias and YouTube links, all that great stuff down below. Have you heard of Sadhguru before?
Yes.
You have. What do you know about him?
Well, he's into meditation. He's a yogi.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Cool.
he's been doing it since 1980 something.
Wow.
Is it true?
I think around that, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, I'm not sure the exact days or dates.
Yeah.
But what do you think of him? Have you seen his videos?
I haven't seen his videos, but I've heard of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the video.
Yes. Let's get into the video.
Namaskaram Sadhguru. The first question is from Ritika. Sadhguru.
Where is she from?
She's from Bangalore. Sadhguru, I recently read that in Italy, dolphins are coming closer to the shore. In Poland, deers are walking on the street. In China and many other countries, pollution has come down. Is it nature's way of teaching us a lesson?
Well, we are referred to as human beings. No other creature on this planet is referred to as a being. We are human beings. That means the basic qualification is we know how to be. Unfortunately, humanity is going about trying to defy this. Well, I've been saying this in many ways. If we don't learn to do things right consciously, nature will teach it to us in a very cruel way. The most important thing in all this is population itself. Right now, what is it that is bothering us with this corona? There is the density of population which makes it jump all over the place. But nobody wants to address. Generally, leaders in the world have not addressed this because nobody wants to go against religious groups who are always against this for whatever reason. This is going on for too long. So one basic thing is population. This is really the only problem if you ask me. That is, we are nice but we're just too many. Now, we took death into our hands with medical sciences, vaccinations and everything. Once we take death into our hands, it's just simple sense to take birth also into our hands. Birth, we believe, is God's work. Death, we want to ensure we are responsible for it and we will handle it. Birth also should be handled with the same thing. If death is postponed, birth needs to be postponed, this is an important thing. The human footprint has become so big, so very big, that there is no room for other creatures to live. Now, this may not be scientifically correct, probably it is not, but suppose you were a virus. Suppose you were a virus and you live in other animals and animal population is going down and down. Would you not choose a new habitat? Maybe that is what the virus has done because there are not enough animals. One thing is wild animals have dissipated in a very tragic way. Another thing is every day other animals are being slaughtered. In a year, we are slaughtering over 70 billion animals for food.
So, Ashley, what do you think so far of what we've seen?
Well, I think it is true. We don't think what we're doing, we're just living in the moment. And sometimes we're just selfish, so we don't think we're producing more.
Exactly, and as he says in a very, I think, conscious way, we're very conscious about death, and we're extending the life, and we're preventing from diseases and vaccines and all sorts of great things, but we're not giving enough attention to the birth.
Yeah.
We're just unconsciously reproducing, and there isn't enough resources for us. What do you think about that?
Well, it is important to be aware for reproducing, because you're not only affecting yourself, but you're affecting the future as well.
Exactly.
So we might not be here later. Maybe a lot of people don't care about the future, but I don't know. The future, it should matter. It should matter. The future,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great points. Well, let's get back into the video.
Billion people killing 70 billion animals across the world. I'm sure we are not eating that much, but that's how wantonly we are living. So, if the animal hosts are disappearing, maybe the virus is mutating to live in a human being. This is not… I'm not talking science, it's just simple logic. If you were a virus, would you not do that? Definitely you would do that, because if your habitat is disappearing, you would like to find new habitat, new places to survive. So, in a way, it is, but this is not a time to talk about these things. This is not a time to say, you did this, so this is what is happening to you, you deserve it. No, this is not a time for that. This is a time for sensible action. If people are infected and they're suffering, they need your compassion and attention. This is not a time to talk about all this. But long term, we must think about these things, that if we don't make room for every other creature to survive in this planet, then you will see we will not be able to survive, because our life is not independent of all other creatures, particularly microorganisms. They are very much a part of our life. You can live without your relatives and friends, but you cannot live without microorganisms. They are making so many things happen. For all you know, this virus also may turn friendly over a period of time, because that is how these pathogens work. They are looking for a place to live and thrive. So, their activity is going on in a certain way. Is this a teaching? See, in every situation there is a teaching if we are willing to learn. If we are willing to learn, calamities need not happen. Every day, every moment, there is a teaching, there is a learning. But unfortunately, we don't learn. We wait for calamities to happen and then we want to philosophize about it. Please do not philosophize, please do not go about saying, well, we got it and we deserve it, or people deserve it, those people who did this deserve that. Leave this nonsense, this will not take us anywhere. Right now, the thing is to see how not to carry the virus. The important thing is, you don't become a carrier, you don't get infected, make sure nobody else gets infected. The simple thing is distance right now, distance from everything. This is a time to be alone, this is a time to turn inward. Well, I've been trying to turn you spiritual for a long time now. It looks like it needed a virus for you.
So Ashley, what'd you think of that video?
I think he's completely right. We're not supposed to accuse each other and just be more negative. I mean, the pandemic was already enough to be like feeling lonely and sad, and then for people to come with more negativity is just making it harder to them. We're all supposed to be helping each other and respecting each other's opinion. Whether you believe it or not, everyone is able to decide on their own. It's their body, so they choose what they want for their body, and it's right.
Yeah, no, that was really beautifully said.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. It's kind of going back to the population thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We tend to, we think, yeah, it's my right, I can have as many kids as I want.
Yeah.
But the implications are actually for everyone,
Yeah.
right? If the environment can support you, then you have to think about others.
Yeah, yeah, you have to think about others. It's like giving. You also have to give to receive.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, and because you don't always want to receive and receive. Like, it just makes you, I don't know, not a good person. You know, like you're giving, everything's gonna come back to you 10 times more because you're a good person.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the same thing happens if you're a quote-unquote bad person, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you put out is what comes back to you.
Yes.
And so, yeah, thank you so much for sharing that perspective.
Yeah.
And again, it really just comes down to being conscious, being aware, of whatever you're doing, whether it's brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, using that example, you know, even leaving the tap on while
Yes.
brushing, right? It's such a small thing,
Yeah.
but it's the small things that add up into the big things.
Yeah. So I was gonna mention, read a quote that said, every time you're with a person, pretend it's the last time, because you don't know when's the last time you're gonna be with that person.
Yes.
So that changes your perspective being with someone each
Yes.
time, anybody, which is your mom, friends.
Yes.
Like you make it the best. 'Cause
Strangers.
Yeah, strangers, because you don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Wow. It's funny you say that because I actually read that quote. It could be from a different person that
Yeah.
you saw, but Sadhguru says the exact same thing.
Oh wow, that's
he
really
says,
cool.
Exactly. He says, treat every single person like it's the last time you're seeing them.
Yeah. And you won't feel as bad. Like you were like, I tried my best. I was nice to that person. Usually you're mad and then something happens and you live a life full of regret and you're like, it's my fault. And when you could have already, like, I don't know, been nice to that person, you know?
Exactly. So, again, really well said, and I appreciate you sharing that as well. And tying this back into the question that he was asked, right, which was, is nature teaching us a lesson?
Yeah.
Before I ask you that, actually, I'd love to hear what you all think about that in the comments down below. And then, you know, if you have a different reaction now or view after we just discussed this, again, comment down below. So, actually, what do you think about that question?
I think it's true. I think when the pandemic happened, like there was a lot of, I don't know if you saw that there was a lot of animals coming out. It's like they can finally breathe because all the pollution was also less. There was everyone inside, and it was like Earth was breathing, and it was like an eye opener. Like, wake up, humans! Like, behave,
Exactly.
like help us, you know. And it kind of feels like we're back to zero. And I'm like, this should have been a lesson. A lot of people did learn, and a lot of people didn't. So
Right.
I hope more people did learn.
Yes.
And, yeah, for the better.
Exactly. And I heard this really interesting thing, which was something on the lines of how essentially we're the virus, Mother Nature is the infected,
Yeah.
or is the sick one, the patient,
Okay.
and then COVID is the antibody.
Oh, antibody. Yeah.
So it's cleansing us
Yes.
from the earth. And this isn't to put down the value of us human beings, but it's to realize how we are a part of life,
Yeah.
and we aren't as separate as we think we are. I mean, we literally need
Each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need each other. We need the
Nature.
trees. We need nature. We need everything.
Water, oxygen, trees. You know. And if we don't take care of it, then one day we're not gonna exist anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all about being conscious. That's all. Thank you so much for watching and taking this time. I appreciate you, Ashley, for being here.
Yeah.
And don't forget to check out Ashley. All of her stuff will be
Thank
in the
you.
links down below. And with that, make a great day. Take it joyfully and stay conscious. Awesome job.
Yay!
You did great.